and I just started chopping my hair off because I
Ooh.
was looking for some type of relief. And just in a split second, I just kind of lost it in a split second. And I said to myself, looking in the mirror, if I could just get through this in a healthy way, because I couldn't. And I even was thinking about people in that broken moment. Like, I picked up scissors and chopped my hair off. Like, people are probably doing far worse, being in, multiple different life situations and navigating.
Caring for others is part of your life, but it's not all of it. This is your space for growth, confidence, and connection to the whole you. Welcome to the DaliTalks podcast.
That's live.
Oh yeah, it says like, okay, hi everybody. Welcome to our live. Hopefully it's actually working. Well, my name is Dali and this is Janice DaCosta.
Hello.
So we are both laughing at ourselves because this is the first time I go live for like forever. And it's been a journey. I didn't realize I had to do it with a third party app. But anyway, we're here to celebrate Janice because she launched her book yesterday. Woohoo!
Ooh, labor of love, labor of love.
Yes.
The
So
baby
we're
is here.
Yeah, so we're here to talk about this wonderful book. But before you talk about the book, Janice, let's tell the public a little bit about who you are.
It paused a little bit, like
Yeah, it
lagged. I
did.
didn't hear.
You
Okay.
just, yeah, I'm not a fan of StreamYard because of that. But anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
We're professionals, we just go with the flow.
Right.
And what was the question? I'm sorry, Dolly.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
Okay. Well, by day, I feel like a cartoon character every time I say. By day, I'm a global logistics leader for a chemicals company. So I lead global logistics operations between America, Europe, and Asia. Very aggressive, very male dominant industry. And by passion, I'm a life coach. I go by the name of Mind Shift Advocate. I'm a published author. I'm a Reiki master. I do energy healing. I'm the president of a college alumni chapter, and I do blogging
You do a
and
lot
publish.
of things.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
I don't
you do a
speak.
lot of
I don't
sad, you know what, things.
speak.
I love it. I love it so much. And like having been in the military, I understand when I heard you say logistics, I was like, whoa, that is a huge job. It's not for the lighthearted or the weak. And what you do every day is impressive. And then at the same time that you're doing this amazing job, you found the time to write a book and put together a TEDx and
That hat.
keep yourself in somehow.
Us high achievers, I'm telling you.
That's right. That's right. Like, yeah, we might be a little ill, but we're okay.
We execute. Look,
That's right. The world will not fall apart if you leave us in charge.
no.
Right. So let's dive into your book. What inspired your book?
My book was inspired by the many hats that I wear now. I was what I call code switching through life. And what I call code switching is it's not the question of what do I need to do next? It's who do I have to be in the many different systems I have to operate that makes me. So being a logistics leader by day and then having to switch and be vulnerable and be a life coach and be a published author and curate TEDx's and watch people, put their dreams on a stage. And what happens is just code switching through life. It took a lot out of me. And because I was high functioning and resilient, people expected that of me. So I just kept giving and giving and giving, and I wasn't pouring into myself. And life demanded a reset. And I had a breakdown that led me to a mirror in a bathroom. And I just started chopping my hair off because I was looking for some type of relief. And just in a split second, I just kind of lost it in a split second. And I said to myself, looking in the mirror, if I could just get through this in a healthy way, because I couldn't. And I even was thinking about people in that broken moment. Like, I picked up scissors and chopped my hair off. Like, people are probably doing far worse, being in, multiple different life situations and navigating the many different areas of their life. So I said, okay, if I could figure out how to do this, I'd show people how to do it. I'd be a lifeline. And then I was like, oh, I remember why I'm here now. It's my assignment. So for 8 years, I went through a lot of healing. I worked with a lot of healers and shamans to help put me back together, and then came up with these concepts and the storytelling to be raw, vulnerable, so people could, have their own lifeline through it.
Yeah, I love that. You're right. Man, I can't believe you chopping your hair, having that moment. You know it's serious when you start changing your body like that, or the frustration.
Yes.
You're like you're looking for that change and that to release whatever's in there. But you released it not just through cutting your hair, but in such a beautiful thing, this book that's going to help so many people.
Right.
So was that journey pretty rigorous? Did you have these moments of, oh my God, what am I doing?
It felt like every moment, because it was all metaphorical, because even the mirror, when I was chopping my hair off, that was almost like a death and rebirth, because I saw myself. And that was the biggest part of the journey, the self-awareness, and the no longer pointing fingers. Like, I was the queen if they would just change, because it took me to not have to make changes within myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a big thing I learned is that I was a recovering people pleaser. And I learned that givers who give with no boundaries attract takers. So
Yeah.
I had to look at myself like, okay, these things are happening to me, but what am I doing to save myself and put myself first?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the changes came in, through honest self-awareness, not listening to affirmations and it's okay. No, it wasn't okay. And that's what this book about. It's okay if it's not okay. And that was the biggest thing. It was okay that I broke down in front of that mirror, because that was the process. And then it was okay to pick myself back up.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's what high achievers, me, especially coming from a family who were very, very excellent, worked on Wall Street, or they were serial entrepreneurs, and everything had to be perfect. But this book is for high achievers, where it doesn't have to be perfect. And you can keep moving, and you can keep moving when it's not perfect. You can pick yourself up. You could do it your way, and it's okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that, because I think we all need to hear that. Like, as a matter of fact, London, who just joined us, thank you, London. She was reminding me today that I'm too hard on myself, and that, things don't have to be perfect. And I have my moments. And I think that we look at people online and we see what they're doing. And to us, it seems like they're perfect. They're not having the same struggles that we're struggling with. But
Right.
that's something that I've had to remind myself a lot about lately. And so going back to your book, I feel like it's something that people really need as a reminder. But what I want to dive into the book is that it says, pay yourself first, emotionally, and in so many ways. Can you dive a little bit about that part of the book?
So pay yourself first. It's the emotional piece. It's looking at yourself and looking at what you need, doing real self inventory. And what the book does is it gives you raw stories to break you open, and then it gives you principles to, let's dive into this language and let's be present in it. So not to coach you or fix you, because I remember standing in front of that mirror. The last thing I needed was to be coached, to be fixed. Don't tell me it's going to be okay, because the reality is I don't feel okay. And so that's what that language does. And then it gives you practices. So that's the pay yourself first piece. It gives you step by step things that you can implement, practical things to pay yourself first. And you get different practices in every chapter to go with that raw story. Because me, I'm like, okay, you can tell me, but I'm high functioning. Tell me how to do it. And so that's what I love about it. And then give me the most simplistic way, because I don't have time.
Yes. Yes. Yard stream or yard, you should listen to that.
Right. Pay yourself first stream.
Right. But yes, I love it. Keeping it simple. And sometimes I think that we want to create something so beautiful and grandiose, and we forget that it can be just simple, very basic. Sometimes going back to the basics really helps, and people need a reminder of that, not just ourselves. And you say that moments that break you become the ones that remake you. And I love that. I love that so much, because it takes me back to so many moments that have broken me in the past.
Yes.
And then looking at how I was remade, I guess, how I came out of that. So what broke you that led to this book, aside from like you went and cut your hair?
Well, so it was so I can definitely say what broke me that led to that was multiple life events. So I was going through a 22-year, very unhealthy marriage. I was ending that. And I'm telling you, this is all at the same time, not month, like I'm talking the same time. I'm going through a job loss. I have a grandson on the way. I'm trying to find a place to live after being in a house for 20 years. Like I had never been on my own ever in life. And then I was going through my identity. Like I need to know why I was here. I was trying to find my purpose. So all of those compounding moments led to the book. But the book is really very emotional because taps into childhood trauma, it taps into estrangement, it taps into financial loss. It hits so many things that we go through privately, where high achievers, we don't fall apart, outwardly. We brace and hold it together. So it hits on real topics. It's not fluff. It goes into it. You see what I see, you smell what I smell, you hear the music, you're in there with me. And we just unpack it and pack it back up together in a healthy way.
Yeah, man, what you just said just resonates so much because I feel like I'm going through what you went through. My marriage ended 24 years. Going through that's a transition. About to lose my job.
Yeah.
Trying to make the business thrive. I have 18, 19-year-old. And that alone, too, it's like a different type of transition because you're trying to get used to like, okay, they're not kids, but they're adults, but then they're not really.
Right.
We're still kids.
That's a life event. That's a transition because you're like, how do I fit in that? And because you have to be a different person, and that's a transition while you're going through transition. So absolutely.
And on top of that, like finding that self-identity, right? Where like, it's like, I'm still me, the individual, but I am all these other things to people like the kids, your family members, whatever.
Right.
So would you say, is this book mainly for leaders or is it anybody? Who did you write it for?
And it's for anybody, but I say leaders because I feel we're all leaders. We're all leaders in our life. We're leaders in our home. So you don't have to be in an organization. If you're leading your life, you are a leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have things around you and systems that depend on you. So it doesn't matter where you operate. I feel we're all leaders. If you're responsible and you're doing life, you're a leader.
That is so true. I love that. You know what? I'm going to inculcate that into my head now because we do tend to have this mentality of are you the follower or are you the leader?
Yeah.
But like you said, if you're responsible, you're doing the things that everybody's supposed to be doing. You're leading.
Right.
Beautiful. Oh, I want like every single young person to hear that. That is so good. Yes.
We need to quote this stuff.
Yes, well, people used to say back then it's a tweetable.
Yeah.
It's a
They call it
quotable.
pull quotes now. Pull quotes.
Yeah. So what would you say is the difference between emotional intelligence and emotional wealth?
Emotional wealth, I feel, I've coined it as the core currency of life. So when you're in this state, I feel like it's a state of being. You're not bypassing life. You're not avoiding challenges, but you've tapped into where peace comes easy and boundaries feel natural because you're anchored in that inner surrender, that unshakable relief that I call it. Ooh. And so when you're in that unshakable relief, life doesn't stop. Problems don't stop, but you're emotionally stable to maneuver through it and do what you have to do and give yourself grace as you move through it, is what I feel.
I love that answer. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So what's the mind shift experience and like how does it connect to the work?
Ooh.
Yeah, in this book.
It's the mind shift are all the nuggets that you learn about yourself along the way. Like one mind shift was I could blame people. I could blame all these people, or I can look at myself and have the courage to move where I need to move so life feels good to me. So that meant I was in this marriage for 22 years. I was so used to being taken care of, but I wasn't getting what I needed emotionally. So I had to make the hard decision to take the chance and bet on me and start a new life. So I feel that's the mind shift when you can look at yourself and make those hard decisions to have that your desired outcome in life.
I love that answer.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's going to be so many mind shifts along the way, but that's what it's anchored in, that mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that we all understand that we are going to have mind shifts, but we forget about it. Sometimes we think too much about the right now, what the mindset is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then sometimes if we start shifting, we think, oh, wait a minute, I've lost my way, or maybe that's not supposed to happen, but it's just evolution, right? Like we
Absolutely.
grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's one thing someone can do this week to start building that emotional wealth?
They can look at everything in their life and look at what it's costing them emotionally and start taking inventory. And then actually look at, okay, this is costing me. How is it costing me? And what can I do? And take baby steps. Stay in the present moment. Don't make it hard and complicated, but just start taking a self inventory. Have the
Wow.
inspired action from there. Because once you say it, okay, this is what it is. And I even have like some of my practices in here. It takes you through, okay, when I'm in this situation, you have your hand on your heart. How do I feel? Oh, I feel this. How do I want to feel? It literally takes you through the awareness piece. Because that's once you train the brain to have the awareness, it comes like this. It comes a lot quicker and easier.
Yeah. You know what, man, that is a hard thing to do because number one, most people are not really self-aware, no matter how much they think that they are.
Right.
And I say that because I found out years ago how much I lacked the self-aware, and I've been working intentionally on it since.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I've been working on it, I still lack some self-awareness because I think we grow up with that bad habit of not looking within deep enough.
Oh, absolutely. Because we were
Yeah,
trained not to. Like
right. It's
the
just, yes.
society says you're strong, you get through it. You get through
Uh-huh.
it. That's what strong people do. But what I love about this book is it's structured to train you to do that without you even knowing it.
Mm,
Because, the structure is okay, here's your story. This is life has happened, right? You got the emotions, things are happening. Then it gives you the principle, which is your truth. You're
mm,
now coming into grips with what's happening. Then you have your practice. This is the how to, how do I move through this? Then you have a reflection. That's the awareness.
yes.
So that cycle was intentional. And I did it to intentionally, what's the word I want to use? To intentionally, it's a nervous system repatterning,
Mhm.
and it's in literary form. So you're literally using the book to repattern that nervous system. And once, with repetition, that's formed a habit. So,
Yeah. Ooh,
yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, as you said, take inventory. I immediately thought of a few things today. I was like,
Love it.
I know what I'll be journaling about tonight. Thank you. I'm such a I take myself as a study all the time with
What?
having conversations with friends, and they'll say something like, "Oh,"
Oh,
um, because I'm always conscious that so many of us walk through life not really having that much intention in what you do, how you impact others,
right.
and how others' life or their energy impacts you. It's
Right.
so huge. So yeah, I love that. Taking inventory. Oof,
Yeah.
that can be
That's the
heavy.
first step. And that was from all of that was like in the mirror moment, that mirror moment that I had, that breaking point. I literally, that's what I went, okay, how am I going to get through this? And then I started thinking like, what do I need now? And then even if you don't have the answer, what I did was I went with the feeling, what made me feel that relief? Like if I don't know the answer, this is what's bothering me. What brings me that? And then I just started with baby steps from there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I want freedom. Oh, you know what I mean? But it started with, okay, what would just give me relief? And so that's why the foundation, the anchor of this book is around emotional wealth and unshakable relief.
Yeah. There's another thing that you mentioned with this exploration of self. You said the nervous system. That is something that I did not understand until I attended Candace's retreat. You know Candace, but most people don't. She's a holistic practitioner. She's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that was a huge eye opener. And I feel like had I read something that explained, that broke it down really, very plainly, It would
Mhm.
have helped me understand why certain things are important, like breath work, and about like really have like the thoughts that you allow in your head. One of my friends said, "Oh," because we were doing this exercise, and she's like, "Oh, you're." Uh, After I responded to like what I say to myself when I first did it, and she said, "Oh, you're mean to yourself. You wouldn't do that to me." And I was like, "Oh my
Right.
God, you're right." And then the whole like your nervous system, how your nervous system tells you, tells your body certain things, and we're not listening. We are so not listening.
Right.
That's huge. It can
Yeah.
solve so many problems if we do. So I love that you included that in the book. Um, so, what's one thing you wish someone had told you before you hit emotional depletion?
I wish that someone told me that it's okay to not be okay, because that's what led to me bracing, because I didn't know it was okay to not be okay. And that's why this book is about facing issues, not, trying to bypass them,
Yeah.
but letting people know it's okay to not be okay. And it's expected, because when I did inventory and I gave myself some grace, I learned that every success I have and all the happiness I had never came from being happy. It came from some type of contrast. And then I'm like, "Oh, it's like more information for meaningful expansion." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, like this is supposed to be the flow. Like I'm
Mhm.
okay to not be okay and release things and feel things. Like this is part of evolution." And then when I learned that, that was like the biggest like relief.
Right.
The biggest relief, and that allowed me to give myself grace to do this with grace and not trying to push through it. Because before, I just need to get through this. It's like, no, I don't. It's okay if I sit with this, if I need to sit with it. If I need to cry through this, I'm going to cry through it. And I don't give a crap now what anybody says. And I love that even in this book, there is a section, and I even have it, I have it tabbed like "Screw Opinions." It literally gives people the empowerment to, like, if this is what you need to do, and it literally says, "If the world calls it a step down, this is what you do." So it really empowers people. It re-centers the nervous system. It does all that without giving people that language, because sometimes that language scares people.
Yes.
Don't give people the language, I go around the back door. And so
Mhm.
that's why I have these structures in place, and I have this language, because it has to feel practical, and it has to feel real. Because it doesn't feel like real life. I don't want to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something you said about facing is sitting with it. I know for me, one of the reasons why sometimes I don't allow myself to sit with it and not be okay is because I'm afraid that I might not be able to get out of the I'm not okay phase. That's really terrifying.
Hmm.
Just like allowing yourself to cry. I feel like, oh my gosh, but if I start crying, I'm gonna like not stop because I might go into depression and never get out of it. Such a fear. And I had to learn that, okay, that's not gonna happen. That's so irrational. And I allowed my mind to take control. Like I have a very good vivid I have a very good like DaliTalks Studios production in my brain.
I love that.
Like,
I love
and it's crazy because it's like the most dramatic, wildest things that sometimes doesn't allow me to pause and sit with it and rest. It really takes a lot.
And what I tell my clients that I work with is that sometimes you just have to talk to that inner self and say, "Okay, I'm giving myself a couple hours." And then for some reason that calms them down. Like, okay, I can trust that I'll give myself a couple hours, and I know I won't go off the deep end. So sometimes you can say, "Okay, I'm just gonna," even in a friend, I'm giving myself an hour. And then when you hear that, it's like, okay, I'm gonna just let go for an hour, set my timer. So sometimes that helps. And so you
Mhm.
can get into that repetition to where you trust yourself more with
Yeah.
your feelings.
Yeah, I'm still working on it to be honest. Like I've done way better because like all the things I'm dealing with today, I think had this been like last year or the year before,
Hmm.
we would not be here right now.
So grateful you're here.
I'd be like deep in some extra creamy vanilla ice cream with chips and stuff and crying over like the Discovery Channel as I'm watching elephant get on the weight loss program at one of the zoos. Which by the way, that actually happened.
Give me that episode.
So,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
so I love it. I love that people can get this book, read it, study it, whatever they want to do with it.
And I'm gonna tell you what you should do with it. I walk the walk. I tab it,
Yeah.
like I literally put emotions on there. Like, okay, I'm feeling this today. I remember this story helped me with this or this principle. And I also tell people, some people who have it, like some of the endorsers, they say they literally sometimes like take a couple deep breaths and every morning just flip to a page and it always seems to speak to them.
I love
So it
that.
literally is not something you want to put in the bookshelf. You want to keep it with you and tab it and highlight it. So not only am I the author, I'm the reader. Like,
Yeah. I love it. Yes, you got to consume your own information.
yes,
But
yes,
yes, and I'm glad because I pre-ordered mine, but I'm definitely getting the hard copy because there's nothing
yeah.
like holding it in your hand.
Oh
And
my
I am
God.
that person that taps and I have like notes in
Yes.
there. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if people are saying, okay, like, well, I'm not a reader, but I really like what Janice has to offer. Can I work with her?
Oh, of course. You can schedule some time with me, right? You can email me, then I would of course do Calendly. They can email me or message me on LinkedIn or Instagram. And the thing about me is I do deep transformational coaching. So I don't do transactional coaching. So I meet with people to see if they're ready to work with me. Because if you want to work with me, we're doing deep work, deep customized work.
Yes.
So I and then that I'm not you can tell I'm not out for the money. I really am out for the healing.
Mhm.
So definitely like we'll intake and I'll, do an intake with people and see where they're at. And then if I feel they feel it's a good fit for them and I feel it's a good fit if they're ready to do the healing, then we can rock and roll.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm also working on like a 6-week digital course
Mhm.
where if people aren't ready to work for me, there's something a little bit more structured to, build up that mindset to work with me. So I am trying to expand that. So everyone,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. Thank
Right.
you. Well, I really hope that people reach out to you, and I'm gonna put your banner, your what do you call it, your LinkedIn across the
LinkedIn,
screen if I can figure it out because we're learning how to do it.
okay. You'll be a pro now.
We'll see about that. I'm like, wait a minute, oh, there
Oh, I
it
see
is. Yeah, I
it.
did it.
Oh, yay. Look at you.
This,
I love it.
this is crazy because I've used StreamYard to help people or to with the production, but this side of it, like actually hosting and doing it is throwing me off.
You're an expert now.
Yeah. And I'm probably confusing it with what's the other one? Restream. Because
Yeah.
I've used both and I confuse them all the time. Anyway. Well, thank you so much, Janice. I really hope that people pre-order. And please, people, when you pre-order and you read the book, leave a review. We forget to do that so much. And if you happen to work with Janice or have worked with Janice and you're watching this, go into her LinkedIn and I'll leave her a recommendation.
Yes, I love
Yes.
recommendations.
Yeah.
And I'll tell people where to get the book. It's I made a landing page to make it easier so you don't have to go through the drill downs of Amazon. They can go to
Mhm.
www.payyourselffirst.pro, Pro, and then they can either access the book and then there's a button where you can leave a review. So everything is direct to the book or a review.
Awesome.
Yeah, simplicity.
Yes, there. Oh, look, I did it.
Oh,
Pay
you did
yourself
it.
first,
Thank
all pro.
you. Yeah. Yes. So they can go
Yeah,
there.
perfect. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Janice. I'm so excited for you. I hope that a lot of people buy your book and you make the bestseller list. I hope they leave the reviews and the recommendations. And hopefully they'll be booking some appointments and changing their life around, whether it's personal or professional. I think we always need a coach because it's crazy that like other people see the solution so easily in us. And we do the same for others, but we just can't see it ourselves.
Right. It's
So
harder for ourselves.
we're in that darn production studio in our heads. So
Yeah.
we
That's
gotta
why
get out.
this book is going to build the resilience and the repetition because that's what it's all about. It's about the repetition. And then once you have the repetition, it's like it's just a way of life. You'll
Yeah.
make it a way of life.
Yeah, wonderful. If you want to catch this conversation tomorrow, we're going to do a live on my Instagram at DaliTalks. You see my handle there on the screen. And so have your questions ready if you want to ask Janice anything. But of course, reach out to her as well. You got the link. So thank you so much, Janice, and everybody who's tuned in.
Thank you for the space, Dali. This was amazing.
Yes, likewise. Oh.
Bloopers.
Hey, did you like that episode? I have an ask. Would you mind leaving me a review? It would really help me improve this podcast so that you can come back and keep listening. Also, don't forget to check me out at DaliTalks.com and follow me on social media at DaliTalks. Until next time.